Good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I woke up about an hour ago. Since this is my first time live streaming in Thailand, please let me know if you can see me okay, if you can hear me okay. Let's see here. I think everything looks all right. Because I actually tried to do an Instagram live with a friend a few days ago and had a couple issues. So I'm really hoping that this YouTube live will be okay. And as always, let me know where you guys are from and what time it is in wherever you are, because I know this whole time zone has unfortunately messed up my lives for a lot of Europeans, so I'm very sorry. I know it's like probably 4 a.m. right now in like Western Europe, so I'm sorry that this makes it really difficult for anybody in Europe. I will try and do some live streams in the future that are more inclusive to that part in the world. But then, you know, unfortunately what happens is that for North America, it's gonna be like the middle of the night. And right now, you know, my main audience is in USA and Canada. So of course I have to tailor my stuff to the majority, but I am gonna try some different time zones depending on, you know, what we have going on. Cause it's I don't even know what time it is here. It's 9 a.m. here in Bangkok. All right, so we got Michael from Poland, 3 a.m. in Poland. Thank you so much for coming out, Michael. That is very kind of you to get up at this crazy hour. Thank you for coming out. Oh, that is my breakfast, guys. We will get that together later. We got Prasad, 7:32 a.m. in India. Oh my gosh, UK 2 a.m. You guys are too sweet. Thank you for still coming out. We got Paul from Maryland. It is 10 o'clock there. Very cool. 10 p.m. in Florida. Oh, we got Multi-Corker from Toronto, 10 p.m. David from Calgary. Amazing. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Oh, we even got somebody from Regina. Memong from Regina. Thank you for coming out. That is fantastic. So, for anybody who didn't catch my last video, yes, I am in Bangkok, Thailand. This is my first time in Thailand, and just as a whole, I haven't spent much time at all in Southeast Asia. This is like a part of the world that I've really been interested in seeing more of, but it just hasn't worked out in my past travels. So even though a lot of Southeast Asia is currently, you know, closed to tourism, I thought that I would try and do Thailand in these interesting times, because so few tourists are going to be here right now. So few people are willing to put up with this whole, you know, hotel quarantine process. Most people can't, you know, because of work. So assuming that things will go back to normal later in the year once people get vaccinated, I thought, well, I don't particularly love shelling out so much money and sitting in a hotel room for this long, but I have some great friends that I've been meaning to visit here for a while, and I'm never probably gonna have this experience again. Hopefully all of us will never have this experience again when travel really isn't happening, and, you know, Thailand, which is super popular with tourism, is ever going to be this empty again. So I'm assuming it's going to be like that. I don't know. This is, you know, all I've seen so far of Thailand. But yeah, that is why I have decided to do this crazy experiment and bring you guys along. So in today's video, oh, we got Greece. Thank you so much for coming out. Seriously, everybody, thank you so much for coming out, but especially the Europeans this time around. I did not expect I would get many people coming at these crazy hours. So thank you for coming out, everybody. Oh, we even got Sweden, Blue Eyes. Thank you so much. Sydney, Australia. You guys would be ahead of us, right? I think you guys would be like 2 hours, something like that ahead of us. So cool. Always love seeing where you guys are from. So I am going to be doing a extensive video probably next week that's actually documenting my whole quarantine process here. I'm technically halfway through. Yesterday was my 7th full day, so I am going to do a comprehensive sort of video on that later, but in this video I will still obviously give you a tour of my room and take you through some of the things that, you know, I've had to do in this crazy sort of experience. So yeah, if you guys have like any questions about doing all of this, you know, just let me know and I'll try and answer it to the best of my ability. But yeah, let's begin with a tour of my room. We'll start at the very front. Let's see here. All right. Oh, we got Michael from Tennessee. Thanks for coming out. And Godwin, we will get breakfast in a bit. I will show you guys what I'm eating. So this is the hotel room, and see, you can't lock yourself in, which is kind of weird. But anyways, they're super nice here. I'm not worried about my security. So when you come into the room, you have this little shelf here, a little mini fridge. Oh, Shigeru from Japan, thank you for coming out. This was stacked with like 15 bottles. They give you 15 free bottles of drinking water for your whole stay. If you need more, you can obviously order more. They're like $1 each. And then they give you some tea and coffee for free. Nescafe instant coffee is not my jam, so I do order room service every day. That's probably going to be one of the most expensive parts of my hotel stay. I always keep a mask right here by the door, because anytime that you open your door, you are supposed to have, you know, your mask on. So I always try and remember to have that by the door. Aw. Shigeru, thank you so much for the super sticker. That is so sweet of you. Good. What time is it in Japan? Very early in Japan, I think. I actually have no idea, Shigeru, right, what time it is, but thank you so much for coming out. So that's me. I'm very dressed up for the occasion, as you can see. Oh, actually, funny thing, look at this. No durian. Has anybody tried this fruit? Because I hear it's delicious. It's kind of like a custard banana sort of flavor, but apparently they stink like hell. So I can't believe they actually have to put like a sign that there's no durian allowed. So that I found funny. Dirt Reynolds fart fruit. Yeah, that's what I have heard it sounds like. So this is the washroom. It is pretty spacious, and I guess I can say where I'm staying. I assume most people aren't in Thailand, so I'm not really compromising my safety, but I am staying in the hotel called Siam Mandarina. It's basically right near Bangkok airport, and it was kind of the nicest budget-friendly option that I could find, because sure, you could stay right downtown Bangkok or whatever, in a beautiful, you know, luxury hotel quarantine. I feel like this one's actually quite nice itself, but that's basically starting at like $2,500 US if you wanted, you know, something really, really nice. Mine is basically, whoops, that was the wrong light. Mine is 1,700 Canadian, or I guess 1,500 American for the 2-week stay. And that's including 3 meals a day. So, you know, still a bit of money, but basically works out to like $105, $110 a day. And I feel like this is actually a pretty nice, spacious room for that price, so I'm not really, you know, complaining. I didn't feel like I wanted to spend like, you know, $2,500 just for this stay when I could put that extra 1,000 towards, you know, what I actually want to do in Thailand when I can actually go outside. And speaking of outside, let me actually move this here. So if my neighbors see me, they'll be like, what the hell are you doing? Because literally my view is my neighbors. I think most people who are staying here are doing ASQ. Like maybe there's some people who are just staying here for fun, but this hotel is kind of in the middle of nowhere. Like it's not like there's any attractions other than the airport near it. So I think these guys are really making bank with this whole ASQ thing, because the prices here definitely are higher, per day than what you would get if you were just having a regular stay in Bangkok, at a nice hotel. Like you could get really nice hotel rooms for like $30-$40 a night right downtown Bangkok, because they're not this ASQ thing. Of course, you're paying for like security and all these other things, and obviously the food as well. But yeah, for Thailand, $100 a day is pretty expensive. I had to pay $20. Oh my God, $20 for my laundry yesterday. I was like, are you serious? That's a bit much. Aw. Thank you so much, Joseph. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for coming out. You guys are very kind. Let me just flip back here. Yes. So yeah, this is my bed. And I'm pretty sure this is a king size bed, actually. I think it's bigger than a queen. I don't know off the top of my head how big, each size of bed is for sure. Aw, thank you so much, Jay. For packing light, you can watch Steve's lectures. Well, I still have a ways to go for packing light, but I did okay. I brought 2 bags because I was allowed to for free, because I have a gift for some of my friends that I'm staying with. But once I get rid of all that stuff, then I'm only going to have my regular sort of bags. But thank you, Jay. So yeah, here is the other side of the room. I've got all my camera equipment. We got a little TV. I haven't turned it on yet. And then over here we have my desk. And like I said, you have 3 meals that are included with your hotel stay, and you kind of get to choose between options every single day. But if you ever wanted anything extra, they do have this like room service menu, which does have quite a few different things to choose from. And the quality of food is pretty good. Like on a whole, this hotel so far, I would give it a 7 or 8 out of 10. I think that's what I would give it. Because I have had a few like little issues with misunderstandings of, when I wanted something or when something was supposed to happen. And some of the food hasn't been phenomenal, but on a whole, it's been very good. Oh, my mom's here, Calgary, watching you. Привет. Thank you for coming out. But yeah, so that's a little breakdown of this. Rod asks, hey Alina, you might be lucky to see a few voyeurs with windows that close, entertainment in the late night. Yeah, there was one really creepy dude actually away from me, and I felt like he was just staring into my room, so I like closed my curtains. I'm like, don't make it awkward, It's like, I don't know why they build hotels like this as is, but why make it awkward? Seriously. There's somebody over there in the window reading something. Joseph, thank you so much. I remember on your 12th day in the Canadian hotels, you were kind of cracking and I felt bad for you. I see that your Bangkok has been treating you well and I am here for it. Thank you so much, Joseph. Well, in Canada, it was actually at my mom's place. So in a way that was easier because I had like a whole house. I had space and, I could chat with my mom to a certain extent. But I think that one was harder because I had never done it before. Your first quarantine is probably going to be the hardest because it's, such a weird thing. Even though we've been in lockdowns, it's still, you're able to go to the grocery store, you're able to go get takeout or go for a walk in the park, like some semblance of outside world sanity. But to just have to be indoors for 2 weeks is a little bit of a weirder sort of experience. And obviously just to be in one room for 2 weeks also is very challenging. But I think because I had that first one, I kind of knew what I would have to do to make myself feel okay about it. So, it's not amazing, but I'm making the best of it, and I'm also taking time for the things that I always wanted to do, like yoga, every morning, or meditation, or watching, some kind of classes or something, learning new skills. That's basically been, keeping me alive through this whole thing. So thank you so much, Joseph, again, and Shigeru, #1 fan. Thank you so much. And I think I read your comment that Tokyo was, I don't know if I can find it now, but I think you said it was like 2 hours ahead of us, which is much better than the time difference that we had before. So thank you so much, Shigeru. Then we also had a comment here from Cinematic and Videos that I wanted to answer. So you went there to be isolated and pay $1,500 for 2 weeks of being locked up, really? What is the fin on that? Let us understand you. Well, I think I kind of tried to explain in the sense of this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity here. Like if you are able to have a long stay in Thailand, like I'm coming here for 2 to 3 months. So, that $1,500 is kind of sectioned over a longer period of time, because also the regular prices in Thailand, I heard, have gone way down because of, COVID and businesses trying to survive. So prices are already so much lower than they usually are. But you're also getting the experience of seeing Thailand with next to no tourists compared to usual. And to me, like that's 100% worth it. So even though I had a heck of a headache, trying to make this happen, because I'm a digital nomad, because this is my job, and because I can take 2 to 3 months to be here, in my mind, I think it's actually going to be worth it. Like, I guess we'll see. So just wanted to add that. Doug Yadden, thank you so much for the generous super chat, and thank you for coming out as always. That is incredibly kind of you. I hope you're doing good, and you guys have a start of a fantastic spring summer, because I think it's definitely getting warmer in all of North America, which is some happy news. It was such a shock to go from like Calgary, which was about +10, it wasn't that cold, but to like +35 with humidity here. Like, it was just insane. Hoping you stay sane for your quarantine. Thank you so much, Doug. That is super kind of you. Suntan, yay, say hello to Alex for me. I will, because I don't know if I mentioned which Alex I meant in my video, but many of you guys have probably heard me talk about my friend Alex. He has the YouTube channel Reporterfy. He's originally Canadian, but he lives here in Bangkok with his lovely wife, and they have been asking me to come visit them and, shoot some content and stuff here. So what better time than a pandemic to do that? I'm being ironic. So yeah, I'm gonna see them after I get out of here. Joseph, thank you so much once again. Always been a huge fan. Sending much love from Edmonton and the Ukrainian culture. I'm still learning Ukrainian, so it's been something. Well, good for you. That is, I think, a challenging language. I myself am learning it as well. Russian is the only one I was taught from birth, so good luck with that, and thank you so much for the super chat. Oh, and then we got one from Jim. Watched many of your videos, but haven't helped much, so trying to make up for being a freeloader on a fellow Canucks travels. Enjoy the travels. Thank you so much, Jim. That's very sweet of you and very generous. Thank you. It is incredible, actually, how many more Canadians I have gotten in the past couple of months, mainly because of those Saskatchewan videos. And it's really nice to actually connect with, more Canadians who don't know about some of these sort of destinations, because like that's one of the big goals of my channel, is to like promote mainly Eastern Europe. I will say that that's, the main thing I'm trying to promote on my channel, to an audience that maybe doesn't know as much about it. So I'm really happy that you guys are sticking around. But I am sweltering for some reason. I am going to turn down, or turn up, I should say, the air conditioning here. And I'm gonna put on my mask and let's go get my breakfast. See if I can do this with one hand. All right. So hopefully nobody's in the hallway and make it weird. Look at this sign. Do you know that wind is sometimes strong enough to blow COVID-19 molecule out? Keep you and your neighbors safe by closing the windows before opening the door. Very interesting. Do I hear somebody? Yeah, there's somebody in the hallway. Let's just wait. I don't want to make it weird. Let's just wait a little bit. In the meantime, I'm going to show you guys that I have a thermometer that they give you when you arrive, and you have to check your temperature twice a day, and then send them, you know, your results on your iPhone. There's like a nurse that's kind of taking care of you the whole time, so that's pretty cool. I think I saw another super chat from Joseph. Thank you so much. Have you ever made a collab with Taya Ukraine? Not yet. Her and I have chatted, and when I'm in Ukraine, I would definitely meet up with her, and I would love to do a collab with her. She seems like a really nice girl. Well, woman, I should say woman. So I'm probably going to be in Ukraine at the end of summer or early fall. So this year, a goal of mine is to actually collaborate a lot more with a whole bunch of different YouTube channels. So definitely she's one of the people I would love to chat with. Oh, we got a super chat from Bob. Hello, Alina. Good to see you. You are inspiring me to travel as soon as I can. Thank you so much, Bob. That's very sweet of you. I really hope more people will be able to travel by well, I guess I was going to say mid-year, but this summer would be really fantastic if travel began to speed up again. So thank you so much, Bob. Okay, let's try and let's see if I can hear anything. I don't think so. Okay, let's do this. So this is where you put your garbage or whatever, and that's my breakfast. That's everybody else. All right, I have to do this one hand at a time. And it's weird because the door will sound if you leave it open too long. I feel like I am in prison. So I'm gonna close it in between. Just gonna put it here for now. All right, I need to get the other thing. Okay. I think I have pancakes today. I think that's what I ordered, but yeah, here's one more look. Get that. All right, we did it. We did it. Yay. So, actually, let me just show you guys. I'm not going to eat right now while I'm doing this live. I'll eat once we're done. But let me show you guys an example of a breakfast, because they are kind of similar every single day. So, the fruit is the best part. For sure. The fruit is amazing here in Thailand. So we have some watermelon, we have some dragon fruit, and can somebody please tell me what the heck this is? I have no idea what it is. It is not like one of those Asian pears, pear apple, whatever they're called. It's some kind of other just like white, stiff fruit, and I don't know what it is. It's kind of a bland flavor, to be honest. We got croissant, yogurt, little juice, and like I said, you can kind of choose, you know, what you get every day. So yesterday I chose to have pancakes, so I'm pretty excited about that. And then I order, you know, like a cappuccino or whatever from room service. I believe I saw some super chats, and I want to make sure that I didn't miss anybody. Please let me know if I missed your super chat for whatever reason, because sometimes I do get like glitches where like it just doesn't come up for me. So please, anybody, let me know if I miss a super chat, because Katsu, thank you so much for the very kind super chat. Greetings from Tokyo. Thank you so much for coming out and supporting. I hope you are doing fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Chris. That's a very kind comment. Yes, so that's a dragon fruit. That's the one with the little dots, but what's the one is just like white and it's kind of hard. I don't know what it is. I don't know what kind of fruit that is. And yes, my pancakes will be cold, Robert. Thank you for your concern. I am a little bit sad, but you guys are worth it. Because either I was to get up earlier and do this live, or I do it later and it's going to be super late for North America. So I was like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. I will do the live at 9 a.m., which is the best time. Jim, boy, food is much better than the pictures I've seen of Canada's quarantine hotels. You are correct, Jim. I mean, I don't want to hate on, you know, my own country. I think Canada is a phenomenal country. I think some people think that I have, I don't know, some kind of like resentment towards Canada because, you know, I'm thinking of, you know, looking at what my options are as far as residency in other places, and, you know, I'm choosing not to be there right now. I love Canada. I will always come back to Canada. I think it's a phenomenal country. But if you are a business owner, the taxes are insane. You know, there's a lot of other places where if you maneuver your finances, you know, you could run your business and invest in your business in a much better way if your business is mobile or isn't in Canada, obviously. So that's the only reason that I'm, you know, looking for that reason at other places to live. And also during this pandemic, no, I'll say that I'm not super happy with how Canada, especially at this point, has handled things. Like in the beginning, I thought they were doing a great job. Now, not so much. And especially with the quarantine hotels, like it's an absolute joke what they're doing. It's not even, you know, effective what they're doing with the 3-day thing, charging people $2,000 for it and giving them crap food. Like I just don't understand the logic in what they've tried to do. And seeing how Thailand has handled, you know, this whole ASQ thing, as complicated as it has been, like I have been through so many freaking steps to make this happen. They know what they're doing. They have done a fantastic job that makes logical sense of why they're doing what they're doing. You can have whatever opinion you want about whether these quarantines should be happening at all. But if you're going to do one, at least do it right. You know, and Thailand is doing it right. And their case numbers show for it. So, you know, I'm not a huge fan of, you know, this whole 2-week quarantine thing, but if they're going to do it, if they're going to charge people for it, like at least give them something for their money and actually prove that it is making a difference. Because if it's not making a difference, if you're still having, you know, leaks in other ways and it's not actually a major contributor to your cases, then what are you doing? That's my rant. Okay, I saw some other super chats. From Joseph once again, thank you. Much love from Calgary and Swift Current. Cinematic and videos, thanks. Thailand has many beautiful places to go. Here goes a little detail for responding to me. I wish you the best on your journey. Jose Miguel. Thank you so much, Jose. That is very kind of you. Joseph, RIP my comment. Not sure what you mean, but thank you so much. Okay, I think I'm caught up on super chats. Y'all let me know if I missed somebody. One sec, guys. Ukrainian dude thinks that my breakfast is too small? I don't know how much you eat in a morning, buddy, but I think they give you enough. Like if you wanted extra food, you would just order room service. I guess one thing that I didn't show yet is they do have like fresh juices and smoothies, which is fantastic. Like this is the difference, right? Does Canada's quarantine hotels give you a smoothie bar and a fresh juice bar and, you know, give you all these extra little things for the insane amount of money that you are spending there? No, they don't. Ian, thank you so much. Started following you a few months ago because of your travels and background. My fiance is from Chelyabinsk and will be going next month. Any tips for traveling into Russia during the pandemic? Well, thank you so much, Ian. I haven't traveled to Russia during the pandemic. As far as I know, they are closed to tourism, but obviously if you have the paperwork that you're a resident or a citizen or whatever of Russia, I'm sure you can get in. I don't know if they have a quarantine or not. Like, yeah, I'm really not the best person to be asking, since I haven't researched Russia at this time. But definitely, you know, as far as flights and all that kind of stuff, just be aware that a lot of things are being, you know, canceled right now. So make sure you understand the cancellation policies of everything you have. You have a backup plan if things get changed, because I, flying here, almost had a really big issue with them canceling my middle flight. And if I couldn't fly out that day, this was also 2 weeks before I left, that would mess up everything that I had set up, because I have to apply for so much paperwork telling them exactly when I'm going to get in, buying travel insurance that covers COVID, you know, exactly for these dates and stuff, submitting all my documents on this specific plan of when I'm arriving. And if I wasn't able to fly out that day, or have my money, you know, tied up in some kind of airline credit, and I have to book a new flight, like, it's just a big headache. So just make sure that you have some kind of, you know, plan B, that if your flight gets changed, or, you know, something else comes up, that you know what you're going to do instead, would be my tip. But thank you very much. Thank you. I saw another super chat from Joseph. Thank you. So what is after Bangkok? Well, I have no idea. I only got a one-way ticket, and I was able to do that because I have a 2-month Thai visa that I applied for. Canadians can get in 1 month visa free, and if you do that, make sure you have your return out ticket as well, because you can't only have your inbound ticket in that kind of case. In my case, I don't have to have one, because I'm not sure if I'm leaving when this first visa expires, or if I'm going to extend for another month. Most likely I'm going to extend for another month. I think I'm going to love my time here, but I haven't booked my next ticket because I just don't know yet. But most likely I'll be going back to Eastern Europe. They're, you know, the main place that's open. I'll go back to maybe some of the Balkan countries that I didn't get around to last time, like Croatia would be amazing, Serbia, Bosnia Herzegovina, Montenegro, those type of places. Go see my family in Ukraine. Like, that's the logical, easy thing to do, but, you know, maybe somewhere else would open that I'm not aware of right now. From Jay, thank you so much. Do natives say your Russian has an English accent? They do sometimes, depends on the person. A lot of times I do get compliments that my Russian is quite natural. But there are some words that I definitely say wrong, or like have weird pronunciation, and that is a telltale sign that either I'm a foreigner or I just like have something wrong with me. I've definitely gotten like some stares when I'm in Russia talking to people, them thinking that I'm, you know, a local, and then I say something like just really weird in a way that no Russian would ever say, and they'll be like, what's wrong with you? So, yeah, I'm not perfect, but I would say that overall my pronunciation's pretty good. Blue Eyes, thank you so much. But Canada does a better job on COVID-19 than Sweden. I mean, sure, Canada hasn't done terrible. I'm not saying that it hasn't done good. It's definitely done better than a lot of places, but I'm just frustrated that a year in, that there's still most provinces are still in lockdowns. Like, I'm just for the thought that, you know, we should be able to still have businesses at least somewhat open, not have everybody sitting on Social Security for a year. You know, it's like, if we were going to do the lockdowns, like, do them right, have it actually, you know, come all the way down, actually protect your borders, you know, to the full capacity that you can, and, you know, let life go on as usual, or as usual as you can in these times. But instead, they have locked down perpetually. It hasn't worked that great. Most businesses have been closed most of the year, and it's just, I don't know, I expected better from Canada a year in. I can understand, you know, for the first few months, okay, maybe it's really hard, but it's like, how don't you start to get your shit together more, you know, a year in? So I'm not gonna go on that rant too much, because I wouldn't want to be in politics. I will say I would not want their job. It's a super hard job. That's why I'm a YouTuber. Not gonna don't take my opinion too much. Like, what do I know? At the end of the day, I'm not in politics. I'm just saying that it's frustrating as a citizen to see other countries, you know, doing super well, and you know, having your own country not. So from Michael, thank you so much. It is a great relief to see that they are taking care of you this way. You will come through with ease. I know we all are excited for you, and your stay there will definitely be worth everything. Thank you very much, Michael. I think so too. I'm very excited to experience Thailand, because literally every single person that I have talked to has been like, Thailand is one of my top places. Like, I loved my time here, and I just think it's going to be amazing and so different from anything that I've really, you know, done as far as content before. From Martin B, third live stream in 2021, third continent. Did you get over the jet lag quickly? Well, thank you so much, Martin. No, I did not. It was horrible, actually, the first 4 days. So when I got in, first like few hours, because it was the afternoon when I got in, I felt okay. And then by like 5, 6 o'clock, it's almost like you feel sick. Like, you know, you just feel like, oh, like I don't feel normal. I just have to sleep this off. So by 7 o'clock, I was already in bed. And then I think I woke up at like 2 a.m. And, you know, you can't get back to bed. So I just stayed up that whole day. And then I think by 3 p.m. I was once again like just dying, like just so tired. So that day, I think, was the day that I slept like 15 hours, where I started sleeping from like 3 p.m. I'd wake up, you know, in between for like 2-3 hours at a time. But basically I slept, yeah, from 3 p.m. until like 6 a.m. the next day. And I felt good after. But then after that day passed, I don't know what happened, but I just felt like crap again. And it was like 2 more days of just feeling terrible, and just the last couple of days have been better. So no, my jet lag did not go super smoothly, to answer your question briefly. I think I missed some super chats here. Pastor Ron, Dobre Utra from Vancouver. Thank you so much. Dobre Utra vam тоже. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name because I think that's Korean. I don't know the exact script, but enjoy your travel in Thailand, Alina. I live in Shaunavon, Saskatchewan. Very cool. Thank you so much. Nice to see a fellow Sasky. Oh, from Jim Ross. Canada's bad planning means that I can't go to Japan and take language classes, as the heat and humidity would do me in. Thank you so much, Jim, first of all. And yeah, it is unfortunate, of course, that, you know, things have been derailed. And Japan too is, yeah, Japan's completely closed right now, because I know that is probably where I would be right now if it was open. But unfortunately, they've been having, you know, some outbreaks as well. They were really good for, I think, the first year. It's only in the past while that they've had some outbreaks, so hopefully things get better for them too. Some questions here that I saw that I wanted to answer. Let's see. Sorry guys, I'm just having a couple issues with my chat thingy. It's just taking a little while to load. Artemis asked, hey Alina, didn't you consider going to the US? It's pretty much all open at this moment. Well, I do definitely want to go to the US at some point and do a road trip, but you know, I think it would just be better when COVID's not going on. Like there's some places that I feel like are especially interesting to go to in these times because we don't really see in news media like what's going on. Like because the US, at least for North America, is in our news feed so much, like there's already so much content about it. I think I kind of want to leave the US until like after all of this passes and stuff. I just think it would be better content wise. Right now I am just choosing destinations that maybe aren't as covered during these crazy times. Like there's not many YouTubers that are in Thailand right now, so I'm kind of just trying to go to places that I could get a unique perspective in. That's one of the reasons why I didn't choose like Mexico, Central America, or South America, because there's actually a lot of YouTubers that are there right now making content because it is so open. So I guess that's just me going against the grain. Ukraine dude asks, what is the first thing you will do when you are done with quarantine? Well, I think my friend Alex said that he would just like get me their version of Uber to like bring me to their place to get all settled in, because I am staying in one of their apartments. So yeah, I'll probably just hang out with them. I think I need to get a new SIM card because my hotel did give me one, but I've been having some buggy issues with it. I'm not sure why. So I think I need to get a new SIM card once I arrive. I'm on Wi-Fi right now. And yeah, I'm just so excited to like walk around, downtown Bangkok. It seems like such an interesting city. And for sure, I'm going to be going on like the rooftop bars. I don't know if you guys have like seen what the rooftop bars are like here in Thailand, or Bangkok, I should say. It is phenomenal. Like it looks incredible. So that's definitely something that I would like to do as soon as they let me out. Actually, before I see a super chat there, and I will answer it, but let me actually show you guys something that they give you here. So you get 2 COVID tests in this hotel stay. The first one you have on day 5, and so I had mine on day 5. It came back negative, and they give you a bracelet that now allows me to go to the rooftop sort of like workout area, like outdoor workout area, lounge place. And they also have a pool. You're not allowed to go in the pool, I guess, because of COVID reasons, but you're allowed to lounge by it. So I'm looking forward to lounging by the pool later today. So this is like the wristband of freedom that, is the first step towards getting the outdoor privileges. And then I have another COVID test on day 10. Yeah, I think on day 10, and then you get your, results 2 days later, but then they still keep you for 2 more days. That's actually the one thing that I'm a little bit confused about, where it's like, your first COVID test comes back negative, and wouldn't it be nice if they just did another one like right away, and if that comes back negative, they let you out. But no, like they really do stretch it out, to the full 14, 15 days. And, you're basically having 3 negative COVID tests, because I obviously got one before I got on the plane, and then 2 while I'm in quarantine. So it's like I am COVID free by the time that I get out of here. I saw a super chat from Hippie Sovietsky. Oh, you and I are in the same time zone. Hello from snowy Siberia. Amazing. Are we on the same time zone? I don't think we are. Siberia and Bangkok? I can't imagine a map for the life of me. I thought that we would be a bit ahead of Siberia, but if we are, very cool. And thank you so much for the super chat. Godwin asks, which is worse, the 38-hour flight to Thailand or the 67-hour train ride or Russian train ride? Well, that's a good question actually, because the positive thing about the train is that you can lie down horizontally. If I was in business class, obviously, for the flight, I'd have no problem. That would be fantastic. Because that's the hardest part of flying for me, is the lack of sleep if you're going for a long time. And I find it very difficult to sleep, sitting up. So if I could lay down, that would be phenomenal. That would be easily the easiest. But 3 days on a train was very hard, because you're very limited with where you can go. At least with a 38-hour flight, I had like my airports to break it up. So I would say the hardest one was the train. Definitely the train, even though you could lay down. I saw a super chat here from Quantum Refugee. Super sticker. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming out. Matthew asks the question, is it really worth traveling at the minute COVID times, all the hassle, basically a prisoner in the hotel? Well, no, I probably would say that for most people, if you have, a regular job in whichever country you live, no, it's probably not at all worth it for you to be traveling internationally right now, dealing with hotel quarantine, the extra cost of testing, and a lot of things being closed. Absolutely not. If I was only going to be traveling for 2 weeks at a time, I probably would wait until all of this blows over. But because this is my job, first of all, like, this is how I make money. Like, what would I be doing for a year sitting in Canada, doing sit down videos? Like, that's not what my channel is, and there's only so much content I can make from my, bedroom, and a lot of things in Canada are either closed down or it's too expensive for me to, at this time, go across Canada with content. So for me, first of all, it's my job. Second of all, I'm spending longer in these destinations. I'm basically living in some of these destinations. So it's not as much of a hassle for me to at least get the entry requirements right, and then be able to basically live, like a local in these parts. And it's much less expensive to live in Bangkok than it is to live in Toronto, let's say. So if your business can be done online and you're okay, obviously with taking the certain amount of risks of traveling at this time, then yeah, it absolutely is worth it. It's very situation dependent. For most people, no, I absolutely would not recommend traveling until this is over. John, thank you so much, John Houston, for coming out today. I hope you are doing good in sunny Florida. Thank you so much. Come out to Kelowna, BC, wine country of Canada. I would love to. I actually haven't been to Kelowna yet. Just Vancouver, Whistler, Golden, BC. Yeah, I haven't done a lot of BC. Thank you so much, Godwin. Thanks for being awesome, by the way. I love listening to your rants. Thank you. I'm glad. Sometimes I have to stop myself. Christian, hello from Toronto. Thank you. Alex asks, any plans to go to the beaches soon? Well, yeah, I mean, Thailand is known for some of the most beautiful beaches in the world. So I hear that the islands are some of the best places for beaches. So I think once I kind of get, settled in Bangkok, once I spend a couple, weeks hanging out with my friends and getting everything set up, putting out some content about Bangkok, once I kind of get that foundation done, then definitely I'm gonna start exploring the beaches. I'm gonna go up north to Chiang Mai at the end of my stay, probably, because I hear right now the air quality is terrible because they're, I think, burning some of the fields or something like that. So I was told to go to Chiang Mai and the north later in my stay. David asks, will you be visiting the Grand Palace, Alina? Of course, definitely. I hear that it's beautiful. Draghi says, visit Koh Samui Island in the south of Thailand. Yes, yes, I have heard that that one is really nice. No, Mark, I have not been to PEI. Maritimes is definitely another area that I would love to visit. I've been to Halifax. That's about it for the Maritimes. Zahisal asks, do you have any plans to come down to the neighbor country, Malaysia? I have heard phenomenal things about Malaysia and I would love to, but as far as I know, they are currently closed. I'm even like confused how people are in Indonesia right now. Like there's another YouTuber that I was chatting to and he hasn't gotten back to me yet. And I asked, I'm like, how are you in Indonesia right now? Like, as far as I know, they were closed. So I don't even know how there's like people there right now. Most of Southeast Asia, from my understanding, is closed to tourism, but somehow people got in, I guess. Arun asks, how is the hotel and food? Yeah, I guess for anybody who just tuned in, it is nice. It's a nice hotel. It's very spacious. And I just have like the entry level room here as well. Like you could get, you know, their fancier upgraded suites that have more room. You can even get like what do they call them? But basically like two rooms and you have a door that you can go in between the two. I can't think of for the life of me what that's called. So you can get those kinds of rooms if, let's say, you were like quarantining with your whole family or something like that. So this is just like the basic entry level room. And for this hotel, I think it's super nice. And the food is good, overall good. Not as many vegetables as I would like. I didn't choose to get a vegetarian menu because I really didn't know what they would give me. Like, I love vegetarian food, but some places just don't know how to cook it well. So I just decided to get the regular menu, and now I'm really missing having more like vegetables and stuff in my diet. So hopefully when I get out of here, I get, you know, some healthy food. Aw, from Rakul, thank you so much. Super excited for your content from Thailand since it was the first country I had been to in 1995 and have amazing memories from there. Definitely recommend visiting Wat Pho, Temple of Reclining Buddha, and the Grand Palace in Bangkok if open. Thank you so much, Rakul. That is so kind and so generous of you. Thank you for supporting me as always. That's really great to hear that you had an awesome time here as well. I don't think actually anybody has recommended that Temple of Reclining Buddha before. So let me, while I know I will forget to write things down, so while I have it, let me write down Reclining Buddha, because the Grand Palace a few people have mentioned and stuff, but that one I had not heard before. So thank you so much, Rahul. Thank you for coming out and thank you for the recommendations. I will definitely try to check that out. Oh, and thank you, Paul. That's the word I was looking for, adjoining room. Ooh, Indian Mastiff. Sticky rice and mango is yummy. So for those of you who might not know, for like 5 years, I worked part-time at Suko Thai in Toronto, which is like a fabulous Thai restaurant. And I was very fortunate that they fed us so well. Like, you know, every end of the shift or during the shift, they would always like, you know, make a staff meal for us, or we'd get to, you know, try out some of the new recipes that they had. And the best dessert was definitely like the mango sticky rice, because the Thai mangoes, which are like smaller and kind of a yellow orangey color, are like so sweet and so good. And I haven't had that, I think, since I worked at Suko Thai, which is, you know, over 2 years ago, I think now. So I am so excited to get some mango sticky rice. Because strangely, they don't have it on the menu here. They have something that I don't know what it is. Maybe somebody can write to me. Let me show you guys. What is this? It's called a bingsu. It looks like a cake, but I have never heard of this, and I Googled it, and it was bringing up some kind of Korean bingsu, which was like a shaved ice kind of thing, and I'm like, that doesn't look like shaved ice, so I don't know if it is, or if it's like something else, and I couldn't figure out what it was. So if somebody wants to write to me if they know what it is, that'd be great, because I'm considering possibly trying it. Godwin asks, Alina, what's the name of your friend's Thailand YouTube channel? Again, will you do a collab with them? Yeah, so my friend's name is Alex, and he has the YouTube channel Reporterfy Media. You guys should definitely check out his channel, because what he really focuses on is content in China. He spent a few months there last year and filmed like some phenomenal content there, really went to some, you know, places that we never hear anything about. Really gives a very unique perspective on China. And yeah, he just like puts out some beautifully made videos and stuff. So I don't know if we'll be collaborating on his channel because it's so focused on China now, but I'll definitely try and have him and his wife Yulia, who's really lovely, on my channel, maybe walking around Bangkok or something. John Sobieski asked, are you allowed to leave your hotel room at all for the 2 weeks? So I had kind of mentioned before that, like, once you, oh, just looking at somebody by the window. What was I gonna say? Leaving the quarantine. So yeah, once you have your first COVID test, you can book an appointment. You have to book an appointment. You can't just like leave your room. You have to call the front desk ahead of time, book a time slot for either the workout room, the rooftop kind of patio relaxing area, or by the pool. I have booked by the pool for 11:30 today, so I haven't done that before. So those are where you're allowed to go outside of your room. Other than that, you're not allowed to leave your room. And I was about to pick up my phone, but I realized I'm filming on it. On your phone here in Thailand, they do put a tracking device. They do put an app that you have to apparently scan everywhere you go. You have to scan this app that basically tells your COVID risk. Like if, you know, you went to a store, let's say, and there was, you know, some person that ended up testing positive for COVID, because you scanned your app, you know, when you went into that store and you were in the store at the time that that person was there with the whole contact tracing thing, basically, your app will then change to like red that you were in contact with somebody that had COVID, and you have to, you know, quarantine right away and then get tested. Apparently all that happens fairly fast. Like they do really do a good job here apparently with that. But yeah, you are being tracked on your phone. They're like keeping track of your, you know, COVID status or whatever. So there's no running from them here. Anna says, I love Sukhothai. Which one did you work in? Oh, that's awesome. I worked at the Wellington one. I worked downtown. I think we're the biggest restaurant, I think, and we got all the you know, business crowd back when downtown was downtown. But yeah, Sukhothai was definitely the best restaurant that I ever worked at. Super busy. Oh, really? Drifter Dave says, get in touch with Mark Weens. I think, I actually don't know how to say his last name, but I know who he is with, yeah, he's a top food blogger channel. He owns a restaurant in Bangkok as well. I'm sure he and his wife would show you around. I didn't know they were in Bangkok right now. I actually haven't looked at his channel in a bit, but thank you for that. I would definitely reach out to him if he's here right now. Matthew says, that's what worries me. Will travel ever go back to how it was? Because wearing a mask is no fun when meant to be enjoying and less stress. I think we're all worried about that. Because here's the thing. It's like, I'm worried too that, you know, their reputation of saying like, it's only going to be 2 more weeks, only a couple months, you know, by December, by Christmas, everything's going to be back to normal in most places. They keep saying this kind of thing. And I know it's not a cut and dry kind of thing. We have to deal with the issue as it goes, but it's like, I am worried that they're saying that, yeah, once we're all vaccinated, like, you know, things will go back to normal. We won't have to wear masks, all this. And I'm like, will we? Will we? Like, do we have your word? You know, because the track record isn't great right now. So I think that's really going to depend on a country by country basis. There are already, you know, some countries that aren't as strict about masks, you know, for better or for worse. So if that's something that you feel passionate about, I guess you're going to have to look at the countries that feel that same way. But I am really hoping that with all the vaccinations that are happening, that hopefully we do get some sense of normalcy, because I don't like wearing a mask, you know, either. And especially when it's outside, like you guys know that outside, unless you're in a crowd, I genuinely and scientifically don't see the point of having to wear a mask when you're in a park and have 4 meters of distance from the next other person. What is the point of wearing a mask? Indoors, I don't love it, but I'm okay with it if it's just like a short period when I'm popping into a shop or, you know, doing whatever kind of business. I don't really care. That doesn't really bother me. But when I'm outside and just walking down the street, not close to anybody, that's my time to not wear a mask. So I prefer to go to places. Overall, in the Balkans, I found it not to be an issue where you don't have to wear a mask if you're just walking down the street. Captain Smart TV can't sleep at 4 a.m. Greetings from North Macedonia. Good morning. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, sorry, but Sherhay, you have to pay for quarantine hotel yourself or Thai government pays? You gotta pay yourself. No government, I don't think, is paying for anybody's quarantine. As far as I know, everybody has to pay for your own quarantine if you choose to go there. Ranaway asks, are you going to lease a scooter for transportation? A lot of people have told me I should try it. And I think if I'm kind of more in the islands or where there isn't a lot of traffic, I would definitely try it out. I'm a little scared. This is not something that I've done before, but I am up for a challenge. So I think that would be something that I would try, assuming that I can with my international license and that there's not much traffic. CM asks, have you ever thought about being a flight attendant? So I have, and absolutely know that it is not the job for me, because me traveling to an international destination as a passenger, like, just takes me out. Like, I can't imagine what flight attendants go through traveling so much, so many different time zones, and it's a very hard job. Like, I've worked, you know, in customer service as obviously a server, and it's not fun. Everybody should have to work like a year at least in customer service to understand what it is like dealing with difficult people. And maybe it would give them, you know, a reality check that you should never talk down to people or make their lives more difficult if they worked in those kinds of positions. So being a flight attendant would be a very hard job. I would not want to do it. I definitely prefer what I'm doing right now. Oh, from Global Nico. Hey, it's Nick from Global Nico Travel Channel. Love to follow your travels. Hope quarantine in Thailand is going well and you've recovered from the crazy long flight there. Thank you so much, Nick. I am doing a lot better now. Thank you very much. Jones asks, do they bring food to your restaurant or can you go down to the restaurant? No, everything is just in your room and they just leave things outside of your door, knock on your door, and that's what you get. Super chat from Hippie Sovietsky. Thank you once again. It's good when there is no quarantine. You just go to the unlimited taiga and feel good away from people. And yes, the same time zones. It's just that you have summer and we have winter. Okay, interesting. And yeah, that is fascinating that because you guys are so much more north that it's completely different seasons. Very interesting. Thank you so much. Christian asks, have you ever taught English as a second language while traveling? No, I haven't. I actually have gotten offers to do that, but once again, I just don't think that these are jobs that like are my dream job and what I'm super, feel passionate about. I've always felt since I was a young age that I only want to do jobs that I'm genuinely passionate about, that I get excited about doing every single day, that give me the freedom, in other parts of my life, like after working for other people for so long and having to do jobs just for the paycheck. I'm not willing to sacrifice that. Like unless I got into some kind of, compromising situation where I had to do it, I would not do it. Like having this experience of working for myself, as challenging as it is, I would always strive for this. Like unless I have some kind of personality change that I'm not expecting later in life, most likely I'm just going to be working for myself. And sure, collaborating with people or like doing, shorter term projects, no problem. But at the end of the day, like I have to be my own boss. Jay, thank you so much for your super chat. And I'm not going to answer your question, sadly, too extensive because this is a, touchy topic. What's your view on Eastern Ukraine and Crimea? I don't live in that part of the world anymore, and I'm honestly, confused about what the truth is of, who's, doing what and what exactly is going on there. Like, it's a mess. It is tragic that that is still going on. It shouldn't be going on, but obviously you have to understand that I have family and friends in both countries, and it's just not the time and place for me to be, choosing sides on that kind of topic. So I'm sorry I can't answer your question. I will just say that it is obviously very tragic that that has been going on for as long as it has. From Rod, everyone wants to know which cryptocurrencies do you hold and how's the beer? Cheers, kanpai. Well, thank you so much, Rod. First of all, I haven't had any beer because I don't know if I mentioned that this whole freaking ASQ thing is alcohol free. Not an alcoholic, but I do like to have a drink. And yes, I haven't gone more than 2 weeks in a very long time without one. So I definitely miss the beer, but I'll let you know once I get out. And with the cryptocurrencies, strangely, I don't have any right now. I know that that is a major direction that people are going in nowadays, and I think it would probably be a good idea for me to look into it more. Maybe it is something that I would buy into, but at this point I actually don't have any cryptocurrencies invested. But thank you so much, Rod. I hope you're doing good, and hope you have a good beer for the both of us some point this weekend. Let's see here. I'm just gonna answer a couple more questions, guys, because we're actually 70 minutes in. This is actually longer than I planned on going with. I thought that I wouldn't have that much to talk about with this hotel situation, but I do have to eat my pancakes, and I have to get ready for my pool appointment. So I'm gonna answer maybe just a couple more questions here, and then we will go on with our weekend. Nicholas asks, do you ever fear for your safety traveling alone as a woman? Overall, no, thankfully. Not only because I have learned that most of the world is a much safer place than we are led to believe, and I have had the personal experience to prove it. Like, that's the thing. Anybody can tell you whatever opinion they have on whatever subject, but until you have extensive experience in something, you don't, you know, concretely believe something, or at least I don't. So since I have been traveling for so long by myself most of the time, I have learned that, yeah, it's really not as scary as they put it out to be. Of course, you have to do some research, use common sense, and the biggest thing for me is to trust my intuition, because I have been in situations where I get very bad vibes from certain people, or, you know, certain situations that, like, some kind of like light goes off in my head and is like, get out of this situation, like, don't involve yourself with that person or whatever. And like, literally sometimes I have learned that, thank God, you know, I made those decisions that I did, because I did learn, you know, very negative things about situations or people that I was with. And sure, I have had scary situations and unfortunate situations too, but that was actually mainly in the beginning of my travels. And that was kind of from places of, sure, bad timing, but a lot of ignorance as well. And see, that's the thing, that when you travel for a longer period of time, you do learn, you know, a lot of what you should do, what you shouldn't do, as with all things in life. So like, my India trip at 19 was definitely the scariest trip that I have ever done. And I definitely put myself in situations that now I would never, you know, put myself into, because I didn't know. Like, obviously I didn't know. So obviously it doesn't excuse bad behavior. Like, obviously that's the thing that we should be focusing on, is like, women should be allowed to safely travel all over the world and not have to worry about any of this crap. Like, we should be, you know, educating, I guess, you know, people just how to be decent to each other, so that these issues don't even exist, and condemning people who do. But on the other hand, I think that once you travel for a long period of time, you kind of learn, you know, what you should watch out for, how to kind of set things up for yourself, that you are in a better position to deal with anything going wrong. So I would say that, yeah, I feel safe to travel by myself now to most countries. Sure, there's some places that I probably would still have, you know, some worries about going to, but most places that I'm going, like Thailand is actually a very safe country to travel to. Most of Eastern Europe is incredibly safe. So yeah, I would answer that. Oh, we have Alex in the chat here from Reportify Media. So this is Alex, guys. This is who I'm going to be visiting with here in Thailand. And yeah, he's who I was telling you about, that has the wonderful channel talking about really cool places in China. So definitely check out his work, because I too want to go to China at some point in time. I thought that it might be this year, but I don't know. I really would prefer to go, you know, once they're kind of opening up to tourism, but you know, we'll see how things go. But yeah, Alex has definitely piqued my interest with his amazing videos, and it's stuff that you don't really see in, like, you know, mainstream media. So if you're interested in that, definitely check it out. Okay, I'm gonna do one more question, friends, and then I'm gonna sign out here. which one should I choose here? Some of these, the great questions, but some of them are really short. I was trying to find, a question that maybe I could give a more extensive sort of answer, but I guess I should just choose one. Okay, well, let's just go with Isaac's question. Sure, what is your favorite beer to drink? Oh, I'm really missing IPAs right now. Ontario has some of the best like craft beer that I have ever had, and it's so weird because living even in Calgary, where my mom lives and where I technically live, I have issues even in Canada finding the same wide selection that I did when I was living in Ontario. Because you would think, Canadian alcohol should be, what's sold in the stores should kind of be similar across the board. But I really had issues finding like a fantastic selection of beers in Calgary. It sucks. So Ontario is definitely one of the best like beer markets, I guess you could say. Oh, there's a naked man. Half naked man in the window. Where was I? Yeah, so I would say Ontario has some of the best IPAs that I have had. Which brands do I like best? I mean, Amsterdam Brew House, just off the top of my head, is awesome. There's a lot of like smaller places that I just can't remember right now, but IPAs on a whole, I would say, are my favorite beers, and it's such a shame that all in the Balkans, I really had such a hard time finding any of them. So I'm really hoping that here in Thailand, I'll be able to find at least a few IPAs. If anybody has, suggestions for bars that do carry them, let me know, because bars are open here. How exciting. World of difference from probably so many places in the world. So yeah, thank you guys so much for coming out. Thank you so much for coming to my hotel quarantine live stream. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. Thank you once again. Aw, Rahul, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you so much for your support. I really enjoyed my time chatting with you guys, and I'm gonna have like a proper video actually showing you guys, more parts of the hotel quarantine. I'm going to really give you more details of how you can get into Thailand right now, all the paperwork that I had to do to get in here. That will be in next week's video. I'm probably not going to have a full-fledged video going out this week. It'll come out next week, so stay tuned for that. And after that, it is going to be Thai content. It is going to be me hopefully out of here. I hope they let me out. Walking around Bangkok and seeing some cool stuff, and I will have Alex with me, so hope you guys will join us here in Bangkok. Thank you so much for coming out. Have a great afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are. Send you guys so much love, and I will see you next time.